everyone, hope you all are well. I'm starting out today by priming the eye area, and to do that I'm using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm adding a few swipes of this across the eye area, and then I'm using the fluffy end of the double-ended brush that came with the Naked Cyber palette just to blend this into the skin anywhere that I'll be adding eyeshadow, and this will just ensure that the shadows go on nice and smoothly, they blend nice and easily, and they last all day long as well. I'm starting off today's look with one of the palettes from the Colourpop Animal Crossing collection. This one is called What a Hoot, and the first shade I'm picking up is called Celestial. So I've taken up this shadow on a Coastal Scents BR 250 brush. It's nice and fluffy. It's perfect for applying and blending colour in the crease. And I'm just using nice large circular motions and windshield wiper motions to lay that colour down in the crease. And when it comes to the outer portion of the eye, I'm making sure to swing that shadow out in the direction of the tail of the brow to give a nice elongated appearance to the eyes. And as always, I like to add a couple of layers of the shadow to really build up the intensity. And I just love Colourpop shadows as well. I just think they're fantastic quality wise just for the price, and they really do some unique collaborations. Next then, I'm taking this palette from Wet n Wild. It's called the Rose in the Air eyeshadow palette. I've uploaded so many tutorials featuring this one. It's another brand that really push out great products at affordable price points, but I've just picked up a little of the orange shade on that same Coastal Scents brush, and this time I've started by tapping it down on the outer third of the eyelid and then bringing the shadow then up into and across the crease, making sure to fade it out really well. And at this point, I'm just building myself up a nice gradient. I'm working my colours from light to dark. So the next shade that I'm taking then is a kind of light burgundy shade. I'm using this just to add a bit of depth to the look. It's the shadow that's just beneath the orange. But I've started then by just using the same brush, which is perfectly fine to do when you're building up your colours in this way. When you're building them up from light to dark, you won't be getting a muddy finish. And having a little bit of excess left from the previous shade, I do find helps to fuse the colours together. So anyway, I've just added this in the same way as the orange, just from the lid up into and across the crease. For the inner half of the lid, I'm taking the shade Olive Flutter. I'm picking this up on a flat C-shaped brush from Blank Canvas Cosmetics. I've sprayed the brush with a little bit of the Urban Decay setting spray just to help that shadow adhere a little bit better to the lid. It'll also make the shadow pop more too, so it's a win-win. But once I've coated that bare space on the lid, I'm just going to go back in with my blending brush and I'm dusting this over the edges again just to make sure there's no harsh lines. I just want everything to fade nicely into one another. Lastly, for the lid then, I'm taking the brown in the palette called Who, and I'm smoking a little bit of this on the very outer portion of the eye just to add a final bit of depth to the lid. And I really like this colour combination for this time of year especially. It's kind of got a nice pumpkin spice vibe to it, but it's just a great look for autumn. So once I've kind of got the lid smoked out as much as I want it to be, I'm then moving on to the lower lash line. So I'm starting out by just repeating the same process that we did up above. I'm picking up a little bit of that Celestial shade on a Sedona Lace pencil brush, and I'm running this shadow all the way down along the lower lash line from outer to inner corner, just running it back and forward, making sure to connect it up on that outer edge. We want no gaps, everything has to fade nicely into one another. Then I'm going in with the orange and I'm doing the exact same process. I'm just running this down along there too, running it back and forward, really smoking it out. Once again, we're building from light to dark, so we're into the darker territory now. I'm just applying that burgundy shade this time, just about halfway across the lower lash line. I'm not bringing it around all the way into the tear duct. With the kind of darker colours, I want to keep them more so to the outer portion of the eye like I've done above. This time now I'm adding that dark brown and I'm applying this more so to the outer third of the eye, and I'm looping it up above just to make sure everything connects and fades nicely into one another. Then to add a little bit of a pop, a little bit of a shimmer to the inner corner, I'm taking the Meteor Shower Shadow. It's actually more so like a glitter, and I'm just tapping a small bit of this around the tear duct of the eye. I don't want a big blob of it there. I don't want it to really stand out, but I do want there to be a subtle amount of sparkle. For the waterline then, I've just taken some of the Ingloss gel liner and I used the Durline product just to activate it and help it apply a little bit easier. And then I'm using an angled brush just to pat this along the waterline and slightly overlap it with the lash line as well. To finish off the look, I just added some eye lower lashes, and now I'm using the L'Oreal Air Volume Mascara just to blend my own lashes in with the false ones and also to coat the lower lashes, and then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you did, do let me know. And if you have any requests, pop them down below and I will catch you all really soon.